You know, I've always tried to follow the 3 episode rule when it comes to anime. Watch 3 episodes, see if you like it, and go from there. But 2B Hero X said, hold my beer, I only need 3 minutes. I haven't been this locked in from the first episode of a show since Dandadan and Breaking Bad. 2B Hero X is just one of those shows that grabs your attention and refuses to let go. And not just because of its incredible animation style that goes back and forth between 2D and 3D, with the majority of the show being a beautifully stylized 3D, preferring to save the equally high quality 2D animation for the most hype moments. It is true art, but that's not what makes this so special, though that certainly helps. It's the story it's all in service towards, with a world and characters that keep me coming back. So I decided to give my thoughts on 2B Hero X. At the time of writing this, there are currently 7 episodes out. Potential spoilers ahead. Welcome, friends. I'm Merlyn with a Y, a certain famous wizard's less talented but more attractive cousin. And I never thought a Chinese anthology series about superheroes and the media would capture my attention like this. I've seen stories like this before, namely The Boys. But 2B Hero X managed to have a fresh take I've never seen before, and use its concept effectively, playing into the idea of the parasocial relationships we have with famous people, with tangible consequences for both heroes, villains, and everyone around them. 2B Hero X follows the stories of the top 10 heroes, showing their origins as we get closer to the 2B Hero X tournament. A biannual tournament that will reshape the trust values and hero rankings of the participants. This is huge, because this series has one of the most interesting power systems I've seen in a long time. Every story in 2B Hero X revolves around one thing: trust. In this world, trust is the most important thing in the world, as if you can get enough of it, you can become a superhero, or even essentially a god. But that trust is a double-edged sword, and with those powers comes a price. Everyone's power is decided by their trust value, the amount of trust people have in you. If enough people trust that you can do something, then you can. But with your power comes some sort of weakness, or at least a chain that holds them back. If the people believe you are strong, then you will be strong. If they believe you can hold up a building without buckling under the pressure, then you'll become immovable and remain ever standing. However, in exchange, you'll never sit down again. So good luck with toilets. And God forbid, for whatever reason, you do somehow buckle under pressure and get seen doing so, then people's trust in you will flatline in an instant, and you'll get crushed. The greatest threat to heroes aren't villains, it's cancel culture. On the flip side, there's fear, the opposite of trust, gained from anything as simple as threatening a lot of people's lives with a gun to holding your job security at risk, which grants evil powers, or at least what people seem to think are evil powers. But considering how many monsters there have been throughout history, I'm very curious on how they would affect the world. Cause honestly, so far the biggest villains have been the media executives, not wanting pesky reality to get in the way of their good stories. Though Miss J can get it. There are some inconsistencies with the system. In the second story, the main character, Yang Chen, is said to have a trust value of 0, despite supposedly having multiple people put trust in him. Not only that, but when he finally does increase his trust value to 1, it's enough for him to develop full superpowers, despite the average person having a higher trust value, yet no powers. Obviously, part of this is just a case of rule of cool, but my theory is that the intensity of the trust matters just as much as the number of people. That's why Yang Chen could use superpowers at trust value 1. It's the difference between a wide but casual fanbase versus a small but hardcore fanbase. Or more darkly, the difference between a believer and a fanatic. There are currently 2 stories out right now in this anthology, each one showcasing the rise to power for 2 underdogs. I won't go into too much details because I want you guys to check out the series if you haven't seen it, but there will be some spoilers. I will at least give you a basic idea and my thoughts. The first MC is Ling, a recently fired marketing designer who becomes a hero after the number 15 hero, Nice, willingly falls to his death after some sort of incident in the past. Being forced to take his place, Ling gets the chance to be the hero he always wanted to be. But he's not him. Lin essentially has to give up being himself to be Nice, being made to keep up a lie until, in a way, it becomes the truth. Him gaining Nice's powers, and even his looks, because people trust he is Nice. There were some amazing fight scenes as well as themes of freedom, identity, and what it means to be a hero. His story is continuously interesting, with Ling, who's been transforming more and more into Nice, developing the same intense OCD that plagued Nice as a drawback. That, and his relationship with Nice's contractually mandated girlfriend, Moon. Honestly, they have a cute dynamic, but I'm more into Miss J. I'm starting to think I have a type for domineering women. However, I'm still pissed about the bullshit cliffhanger ending of episode 4 that mirrors the bullshit cliffhanger ending of the first episode that so far we have no explanation for. But Moon is killed, and their murderer is the next POV and the protagonist of story 2. There's a lot to say about the second story, but I feel like you have to see it to truly appreciate it. I will say this. Episode 7 was a work of art. To Be Hero X's art is always incredible, but they outdid themselves here. I could probably make a full video gushing about the animation, but I'm sure there's enough videos about that already out there. There's a lot more, but there's only so much I can say. When the series is this good, it feels like no matter how hard I try to describe it, it will always fall short. One of my original scripts for this was twice the length and only talked about the first 4 episodes. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of this series. The next hero should be Lucky Chan, the singer from the last story. I can't recommend this series enough. Please check it out if you can. But let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. I tried something a bit different with this video and I want to know if people like this style. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to see a bit more of me, maybe try clicking on one of my other videos. You might find something you'll like. I'm Merlyn with a Y, and thank you for listening to this old man ramble.